Back from the filmmakers until I think halfway through around Saw 5-ish, I got an email and then followed up by a phone call from the producers saying, we're interested in possibly bringing back Gordon, and how would you feel about being in the next installment? And I said to them, I said, if we're going to bring Gordon back, let's bookend him. Let's make him one, and whatever the last one is. I think that would be more fun for the fans, yeah? So that we can keep that tease going. And, you know, it was amazing. I don't know if you know this story, but if you look at all the Saw movies, and by the way, when I came to do the 7th one, the producers went, we're sending all the tapes over for you to watch, and we'd appreciate it if we get them back within 48 hours. I'm like going, yeah, you want me to sit down and watch all 6 Saw movies in 48 hours? What are you, nuts? There's no frickin' way. I got through 1 and 2, and I turned to my wife, and I'm done. That's enough flying limbs into my face one evening. I get the picture. But anyway, yes. So they decided to bookend him, but it was a fan, actually, a real die-hard fan, who figured out the thread of how to bring Gordon back. And you can go online and find this guy. I don't know his name, sadly, I forget, but you can go online and find out that it was this die-hard fan who had watched every single Saw movie and had figured out a tiny piece of footage somewhere in one of them which connected Gordon to Jigsaw or something. Amazing, amazing. So, again, you never know where your inspiration is going to come from.
Did you have any kind of idea of what happened to him yourself after the first film wrapped that perhaps differed?
Well, no, I knew he was going to obviously walk with a limp for the rest of his life. No, the only thing I asked for, I said, when we see Gordon leave the bathroom, I want to see his legs still tied to the ground there. And let's have him sort of have a little moment there with his leg.
Yeah.
And they like that idea. Yeah.
Thank you very much. May I shake your hand too?
Yeah, of course.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Meredith.
Hi, Meredith.
My family's from Savannah.
Oh, wow.
I
love Savannah. We shot Glory there.
My aunt was in a scene with you,
No way.
a sewing circle scene that got cut from the movie.
No way.
She's just an extra. She's described it as it was a ladies' sewing circle, and Matthew Broderick was reading to them something.
Yes.
In fact, she sat in a room with you while you were reading a script while she was trying to get warm. She had no idea who you were at the time.
That's cool. Well, tell her I say hi.
Okay. But do you have any stories about either Savannah or making that movie?
Okay. Let me think. Are there kids here today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell that story. No, sorry. All right, here, because there are kids here. No, all right, because there are kids here, here's what you can do, you guys. Do you know the story of Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil? You know that book? Go to the preface, and you'll see a story that's connected to Glory. Okay. Believe it or not. Yeah, it's pretty nuts, and I can't tell you because there are kids here. But it's pretty cray-cray. Anyway, Savannah. What do I remember about Savannah? A beautiful city, my gosh, beautiful. Mrs. Brown's boarding house. Anyone know about Mrs. Brown's boarding house? You know about it?
Yeah.
Yes! Mrs. Brown's boarding house is the oldest boarding house in Savannah. And Mrs. Brown came up with the finest, I mean the finest fried chicken in all, I think, in all of America. I'm not kidding. If you've never been, it's extraordinary. And you sit at communal tables, and there's no reservations, and there's a line around the block. And Denzel was the only person who figured out a way. He charmed the, because Mrs. Brown is, I mean, she's passed on, God bless her. Now it's run by her, her great-grandchildren or something. He, of course, being, you know, he's Denzel. He convinced them to deliver him his collard greens and his fried chicken on the set every day. That's how cool it is to be Denzel. The rest of us all had to stand in line for about 3 hours. Yeah, I love Savannah. I couldn't believe, by the way, we were there for St. Patrick's Day. It's like the largest St. Patrick's Day parade, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Go figure.
We got the day off of school. Like,
I mean, you guys dyed the river green. It was nuts.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many drunken Irish people in my life. Yeah, it was crazy. People coming up to me and like, hey, come on, let's go.
It's a big transition if you go live in another city and they don't shut down the city for
It
some
shut
time.
it down.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We shut, of course, we couldn't shoot for a couple of days. We were like, yeah, well, that's that. The crew went off. Yeah. They were all very green. It was a long time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph. What have you got on your shoulder there? A dragon?
A drabbit.
A what?
Drabbit.
A rabbit?
Drabbit.
A drabbit. Was that a rabbit and a dragon?
It's from Imaginarium Galleries.
Very cool.
It's a dragon.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it's a dragon.
Very
But
cool.
the maker calls it a drabbit.
Dude, whatever it is, it's cool. What's your question, sir?
Actually, I have two.
Okay.
Okay. First one is, did you play a character in the live version of the Jungle Book?
In the live version, yeah, I played Captain Boone.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Someone
you.
owes me $20 then.
Dude, I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you, it's called Google. Cary Elwes and Jungle Book. You know, I wish you could have held on to your money, pal. I'm so sorry.
Anyways.
Second question.
Yeah. No, they owe me money.
Oh, they owe you?
Yes.
Smart man.
But my second question is,
Yes.
how did you feel playing that character? Going from I guess I watched you play Dracula Roberts and Princess Bride. How was it being that just an evil, very, very evil character?
Well, I try not to judge the characters I'm playing. I really, honestly, no, kidding aside, I read a book when I read a lot of acting books as a kid, because I already knew when I was a kid this is what I wanted to do. And one of the books I read was an autobiography by Laurence Olivier. And Olivier says in one of the chapters, he goes, never judge the characters you're playing, because if you judge them, you will already put in a predetermined viewpoint into the mind of the audience as to how they should feel towards this character. In other words, no one is just plain evil or good. It's the gray area that's interesting in life, yeah? And, you know, you can't just do black and white. You know, if you play a character going, I'm playing a bad guy, that's just a very, you know, one-dimensional look at that role. What's interesting is finding the nuances in the character. In other words, a so-called bad guy doesn't think he's bad. An evil guy doesn't think he's evil. He probably thinks, or she thinks, she's doing the right thing, that she's perfectly normal and perfectly justified in his or her behavior, yeah? So I learned a lot from that by not trying to judge my roles. So whoa, sorry about that. For Captain Boone, I just figured this guy had he had an agenda, and he was gonna fulfill it. And so I didn't really try to look at him in terms of being good or evil or anything like that. But I guess, in answer to your question, it's probably one of the first roles I played that was probably a darker character. And darker characters are fun to play, you know, because they get the best lines, yeah. And Brits, I don't know, Brits always get to play bad guys. I mean, I don't know what it is. What is it?
American Revolution.
Alan Rickman's made a career out of it. Right? How brilliant is this guy? He's brilliant. Brilliant.
But yeah, I was just wanting to know how it was playing just a really dark character. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, you can go on.
Talking of Alan Rickman. Cool. Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good. What's your name?
Larry.
Hi, Larry.
That last question was actually, and the talk of great characters is actually a segue to one of my favorite characters you play, which is from none of your movies. Rather, it's your reoccurring role as Pierre Despereaux. I love that character, and what's hilarious is every episode you were in, I was trying to figure out good or bad, good or bad, good or bad. Oh, he's good. No, he's bad. No, he's good. And see, then even to the very last episode, you still didn't know the answer. So what was it like playing that role and being so ambiguous? And what was it like working with the cast?
Oh my gosh, so much fun. I got the call from Steve Frank saying, we got the show, I don't know if you know about it, it's called Psych, we shoot up in Vancouver, I would really love you to come and join us and have some fun. I got a recurring role that I'm thinking of creating for you. We'll send you some tapes if you haven't seen the show. And I said, Steve, I've seen the show, I love the show. And he said, oh great, oh well, that's good. That's a good start right there. And he said, well, I'm gonna send you a rough draft of this script that I'm working on that I'd like you to look at for this role. This guy called Pierre Despereaux, he's an art thief, and it's fun. I promise you, have fun. And I was a big fan of the show already. I mean, my gosh, James and Dulé, these guys are insane.
Yeah.
Insane. They cracked me up on the first day. Dulé let loose, and I wasn't prepared for this. The episodes I'd seen, I'd never seen him do this little girly scream. And nobody warned me. And we were in a cabin somewhere or something, and we were being shot at or something, right? And then Dulé lets out this guy. And I just about lost the plot. It was so silly. And then I realized, okay, that's the tone of the show. I get it. And I love the idea that he made James's character be enamored of Despereaux,
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun. My God, we had so many outtakes. I don't know where they are. I ruined a few. Because by the way, their relationship, James and Dulé, was such that they could crack each other up, but they never spoiled a take unless it was something completely ridiculous. But for the most part, they knew how to do comedy so well that every guest star that I saw would come on and just get ruined by these guys. Yeah, it was so much fun, really fun.
Okay, I just wanted to say that was one of my favorite roles. Can I shake your hand?
Okay, guys, unfortunately we're running out of time, so we only have time for this question and one more after it. I'm so sorry. Cary is going to be down on the Walk of Fame, so you can go down and see him there as well tomorrow. But we only maybe.
Yes,
but we only have time for you and the next person in the green t-shirt. So, okay.
Hello.
I'm sorry, guys.
Well, my name's Paula.
Hi, Paula.
And he took my psych question, but thankfully I had a backup. You play such a range of roles. What was not necessarily your favorite role to play, but like your most fun or like to play, good or bad, most fun that you got most into the character?
I guess Wesley was pretty much.
Yeah.
It was about as much fun as you can have around medication. That's why I wrote the book, actually, because it really was that much fun to make. And not all you can have great fun on a show, and sometimes it doesn't translate onto the screen. But that particular show, that movie, we had so much fun, and I think you can kind of see it. It's up there. I mean, I laughed every single day on that set.
That's awesome.
And it's all in the book. You can, between Andre letting out a 15-second fart on my first day with Andre, we were shooting the scene on the parapet, the scene where I'm mostly dead, and I come to. And I think Andre's first line was asking Indigo about how long the pill would take to take effect. And then I come to, and then he's like, "It's not very long," something like that, right? And my first line was, "I'll beat you both together, I'll fight you both apart." Something like that. You know better than I do. And before I could get that line out, with my eyes shut, just quietly waiting for my cue, out comes what I thought was an earthquake. Honestly, it was singly the loudest, most monumental gas I have ever experienced in my entire life. He's a giant! 450 pounds of gas coming out. And I looked over, by the way, first of all, everyone grabbed the parapet because they thought it was, everything was shaking. And then I looked over at Andre, and he was sort of sitting there, you know, steam coming out of it. He was big, like steam coming out of the top of his head. I look over, and we're all panicked, and I see the sound guy who has the headphones on. He's doing this. He's going like that. And after about 13 seconds of this monumental sound that emitted from Andre's behind, he finally stopped, and there was this incredible silence. Literally, you know, British crew, you know, if you fought in public in England, it's like, it's not like here we go, dude. I think the first words that were emitted were from Rob. Rob turned to Andre and went, Andre, you okay, man? And I'll never forget, Andre goes, I am now, boss.
Good day. I actually have a real quick three-parter.
Okay.
For the sake of everybody, including myself, how do you pronounce your last name?
Yes.
Because every time I say it three times.
Kissinger. K-I-S-S-I-N-G-E-R. No, it's Elwes. As I think Elvis, but with a W.
All right, and the second thing I have is I owe you a thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Because I grew up with the movie, and when I was about 15, I read the book.
Awesome.
And
it's a great book,
during the fencing scenes, you guys talked about Agrippa, Capafeo, Bettany's defense, and then in the book they mentioned him as well. And I said, that's interesting. Those must be real things and not just fantasy made-up terms. And I started researching them. And I started fencing.
Cool.
I started medieval rapier fencing with the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronisms.
Oh my God.
And this year became the championship fencer of Florida.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So honored if you would sign my copy.
What's the booing for?
I think I know what his question is. Let him on. He's all right.
Who's that?
Hello.
What's your name?
What is your name? I have no idea who you are. What is your name, sir?
Oh, my actual name. My name is Bingo Matoyo.
Is there something you want to tell me?
I don't like it to pry, but you don't happen to have 6 fingers on your right hand?
Yes, he was. Thank you so much, sir. Let's hear it. So, in closing, I just want to say thank you once again for coming, and I promise you won't be disappointed. If you've heard partial tales from the book, this book really encompasses obviously a very important part of my life. I was 23 when